Rev up your engines!
Now here's one that even I don't believe. Subaru settled a fuel pump class action suit. The lawyers that sued them got $15.5 million, and the owners of the Subaru in total only got $81,250. So the lawyers got $15.5 million, and the people in the lawsuit only got $81,250 in total. The plaintiffs with the Subarus either got $2,500 or $3,750. That's all the money that they got each. But the lawyers got $15.5 million. No wonder these lawyers go in for this stuff. It's patently absurd. There's got to be different laws for class action lawsuits, obviously, because like if you have a lawyer representing you, they're not allowed to take that kind of a cut. They're not even supposed to get half of it, right? But in this case, geez, $15.5 million versus $81,000 for the people that they represented them. Unbelievable. Lawyers are scumbags. We all knew they were. This just proves that they're scumbags. They take all that money from themselves. They got the plaintiffs almost nothing. And to top it all off, this is a hilarious thing. They cut a deal with Subaru, and listen what BS it is. Subaru is going to extend the warranty of the fuel pumps for 15 years. Subaru will not issue reimbursements to owners if they've experienced out-of-pocket expenses that are the result of damage, collision, or misabuse. Additionally, the company said vehicles where the title prior to the date of the qualifying fuel pump repair were sold to junkyards will get nothing. But it sounds like the lawyers just sold these people out, got them peanut money, and they took millions for themselves. Subaru obviously loves this deal because they had to pay the lawyers but didn't have to pay the people that much, and then they said all these other people are going to be excluded. You won't have to pay them anything. It's unbelievable. These scumbag lawyers are taking over our country. Something needs to be done. Things like this are even legally allowed. Of course, the lawyers make the laws. Most politicians are lawyers. So, do you think they really care? I remember talking to my wife's cousin's lawyer after she died. We went to sign property over to people because we didn't want anything to it. And I met a really nice young lawyer in Niagara Falls. And I said to the guy, what's a nice guy like you smart doing in Niagara Falls? It's falling apart. Hardly anybody's left there. The place is just in crumbles. He says, well, Scotty, you don't understand. He says, lawyers and doctors, they make all the laws for lawyers and doctors in New York State. So they can control everything and make a fortune. For example, in New York State, you sell a house, you got to have a lawyer, right? Why do you need a lawyer when you're selling a house or buying a house? You're paying a title company that says it's a legal title. That's all you need to know. It's legal. They own the property, you're buying it. Fine. Ta-da. But no, you got to also pay a lawyer. Why? Because the lawyers made a law that you got to hire a lawyer when you sell a house. It's insanity. They're taking over our country. Pretty much get rid of the lawyers and our society will be in a much better position. They keep talking about electric cars, right? BMW just canceled a $2 billion battery cell order from Northvolt, which the company was making the battery cells, because they weren't doing it right. BMW said, yeah, we're canceling that order, right? Well, some of it has to do with nobody's buying the stupid electric cars. And I'll give you a total example of something that's absolutely hilarious. A BMW electric car that sold for $120,000 when it's 1 year old with 25,000 miles sold for $60,000. That's half. And there was another one that the $120,000 car with only 12,500 miles, they were asking $50,000 for it. People don't want these electric cars, and BMW is going to find out real fast. They better not buy a bunch of batteries because they're going to make cars that nobody's going to buy. They're extremely expensive, but who's going to buy them? And to give you a perfect example, BMW now says, we're coming out with a BMW 1 Series car in 2027 for young buyers who want frugal investment. BMW never made inexpensive cars. They always made expensive cars, right? What do they think inexpensive? They're selling one of their cars for 120 grand, their electric cars. What do they think? 60 grand is an inexpensive car? And BMW does not make inexpensive cars. Here's BMW's horse manure. The BMW 1 Series will be transformed into an affordable electric car. As we look to attract younger buyers, BMW will spawn as i1 and i2 EV models. Then they have a little picture of what they think it's going to look like, right? Well, what they call inexpensive, I guess if you're a millionaire, you live in a mansion, you think $60,000, that's peanut fee. That's really an inexpensive car, right? The day that BMW makes an inexpensive car that doesn't fall apart, that doesn't cost a fortune, that the parts cost tons of money, and they're not available, hey, I'll eat my shoes. 3 years from now, we're going to make really inexpensive little electric cars for the young generation. That's all I gotta say. They never make anything. Their motorcycles are overpriced. Their cars are overpriced. They even make electric bicycles. Well, they don't make them, but they brand them as BMW. And they're overly priced. Them saying they're gonna make inexpensive expensive cars in 2027, little electric cars for the young crowd. Not holding my breath on that one. Unless inflation gets so high that $60,000 is equivalent to $10,000 today. Who knows? Inflation might go, we might get like the Weimar Republic, $1 billion Reichsmarks for a loaf of bread. Well, by then, yeah, $60,000 would be inexpensive for a car. Well, old Elon's back to his nonsense again. Now he says he's going to have a Tesla Roadster that's going to go to 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds. But it's also going to be able to fly. No, he didn't give specifics, but that's old Elon. He likes making up stories, right? Elon Musk has been flapping about selling a Tesla Roadster, and he began collecting deposits for it 7 years ago. And now he says, oh, it's going to fly. Don't listen to a word this guy says. This is the same guy who said by 2024, I'll have 100,000 of my electric semi-trucks out there, right? I think there's 18 of them, and they're breaking down all the time. They take trips. When they made an expedition, like from L.A. to Arizona or someplace, and they actually cheated and used 3 trucks. One pulled the trailer when it ran out of power. Another one behind them that was on a flatbed powered by a diesel truck. They take that one, hook it up, and when that one ran out of electricity, they got the third one that they had on a trailer pulled by another diesel truck to hook up and pull it the rest of the way. I mean, the stuff that they do, it's such fakery, it'd make your head spin, right? Well, he said there's going to be 100,000 of them out. There's 18 of them. They don't even work that well. Him actually making a flying Tesla Roadster that goes 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. Hey, I kind of doubt that it's ever going to happen, you know? But he says it's going to fly, too. So all I have to say is whatever that guy says, don't bank on any of it ever flying. Literally or figuratively. Well, I read a new study that said China spent at least $230 billion to build its EV industry. That over time, they spent over $230 billion building the EV industry, giving money to the companies to make electric vehicles and stuff. Now, who knows what the actual figures are? Because the Chinese like hiding things. And now that we're getting this trade war thing going on with China, people are going to make up figures too. They obviously spent a whole bunch of money. Who knows if it's actually $230 billion. Now, if you break it down, if it was $230 billion the Chinese have spent giving money to electric car companies, that scale represents 18.8% of total electric car sales between 2009 and 2023. So it's still only 18%, right? The Biden administration is just saying, we're going to put 100% tariff on the Chinese cars because it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, the stuff that they've done is only 18.8%. And then we're talking about 100% tariff. It just shows the Chinese are much more efficient at doing things. Their corporations aren't as full of rich executives like here, where people make crappy cars at GM, Ford, Stellantis, but their CEOs and high-up executives and getting paid millions of dollars for making crappy cars, right? Maybe the money's going in the wrong place here in the United States. 2023, it was only 11%. Not 18.8, but only 11. They're giving less money to subsidize the stuff, right? I guess they see what's working okay. We don't give as much money. I just find it rather amusing myself that theoretically China's a communist country. So why does the communist government have to spend money to make something go? Why can't they just tell them to do it, right? Why do they have to spend money? It's not really a communist country. It's a capitalist dictatorship. Any fool can tell you that from history. It's got a stock market. It's got money. It's got ownership of property. None of those things are communist. So it's more or less a capitalist dictatorship, and they decided to put a lot of capital into electric cars, and it seems to be working out okay for them, other than the other countries are complaining. The Europeans are putting a big tariff on Chinese EV cars, and they're saying they're going to put 100% tariff on them here in the United States. So who knows what will become of all that. All I got to say, there's a lot of money floating around, and the Chinese seem to be on a path of making better electric vehicles, whether or not they'll be accepted in the United States with no infrastructure. And until we build more power plants and more charging stations, it's kind of stupid. You put the cart before the horse. The horse is supposed to be in front of the cart, not behind it. You're not going to get people buying electric cars until there's an infrastructure and enough electricity to run them with. And that they're not going to break down and cost too much money. Hey, the Chinese are making stuff that don't cost much more money. Putting a big tariff on it, hey, that's contrary to what these bozos in Washington are saying. Let's save the planet, have electric cars. Oh, yeah, cheap ones. The Chinese make them. Well, we don't like that. Haji says, what's the best remedy for planned obsolescence? Maintaining old stuff or boycotting new stuff? Well, a combination of the two, right? You really want to get rid of planned obsolescence? Get a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Civic and just drive it forever. That's the best because you just keep them going. You don't have to think about, oh, well, that new stuff, all those computers are going to break as they get old, and buy something solid like that, take care of it, and drive it forever. Don't get all the stupid bells and whistles, you know? Don't get a vehicle that, if I can kick my leg under the bumper and then the trunk will open, la, 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 that crap's going to break, right? Have cars with actual keys. Then you don't have to worry, oh man, my keyless remote system broke. It's going to cost me $1,200 to get it fixed, right? No, old technology is better. Now everybody wants, oh, I want my car to wipe my nose. Guess what? It's going to probably tear your face off one day when it breaks. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.